gentlemen. So after watching that segment with me washing this car, if you've just been watching the channel for a while or you've been following my socials and such, you may have quite a lot of questions. Probably the most prominent being why it looked like that. Now, since my last time that I did an update on what was going on with the channel and all of that, it was a long time ago, and a lot has happened since then. So I figured in this video today I would get you guys all caught up, tell you guys what you can be expecting, because a lot of things are changing, some very major things for this car, some news from the Saab, which is not so great, some big announcements for LTMC moving forward, and the channel just hit 1,300 subscribers. You guys, this is unreal. The channel has been growing so much lately, and I'm wanting to put out more consistent content, and I have a lot of content coming your way. So I want to put all in one video what you can expect, what's going on, explain everything, make sure that everything's in place, just so you guys know exactly what's happening moving forward from this video. Okay, so I'm going to start my explanations with this car. Now, as you all can see, most body panels have been replaced on this car, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Now, I believe that the last time that I updated anything with this car, only this fender was completely crunched, as well as part of my front bumper. In that video, I remember saying that it was only going to be temporary, but that it was going to stay crunched like that for a while, just because it was usable, but I didn't have any plans to work on this car at all because I wanted to prioritize the Saab. Fast forward to probably a few weeks ago, if not a month or two ago, I was setting up a car meet after the Midsummer Meetup happened. I will explain to all of you what happened at the Midsummer Meetup because it's a whole other story. There's a lot more involved, and I will explain that later. For right now, I'm just gonna stick with the Miata. So after the Midsummer Meetup happened, I had just this urge to host more really big meets. So I set up a meet in Anacortes, Washington, and I was going to go scout for a bunch of meet spots and work with a bunch of other car club hosts and such. And while I was down there scouting for spots, this fender, my original one, got backed into right about there and just crunched this entire side. Luckily, you may notice this blue might be a little bit recognizable if you've been watching my videos for a while, because I did a video a while ago with Zion's Miata. Zion's Miata, I think it's probably been over a year now, got totaled, and I bought a bunch of parts from him. So I bought the trunk lid, I bought the hood, and I bought this fender, because those were all clean still, even when his car got totaled, because it got totaled in the rear on that side and in the front on this side. So I couldn't get that fender, which sucked, because that, at that point, was my only crunched fender. Now, I've actually had all of these light blue panels sitting around for a really long time. The hood has been at Zion's house for the longest time until very recently. Ooh, super clean 280ZX. Ooh, yeah, boy. The hood I could not transport because the Miata was my only running car, so it sat at Zion's house for a long time, and the other day Sean actually helped me go pick it up, and that's when I went and got it for this car. I replaced all of the kind of beat up body panels on this car, mainly because I plan to rewrap this car before my trip, which I will get to in a little bit. That said, I think we'll go over each body panel and explain why it's been replaced and what happened with it. So this body panel, you guys already heard the story of the crash with that one, where it just crunched this entire corner. We pulled the frame back out, and I replaced it with this body panel. It fits okay. Now, this is not my original front bumper, and you may remember that my original front bumper, when I first got it, actually, before I even owned the car, had a dent here and a dent here from the license plate. I went and picked up this bumper when it came up cheap, and it's all clean. It's a little scratched up. You can see there are some scuff marks and such, but there are absolutely no dents, no indentations, nothing. And that bumper is going to get rewrapped, so that is a clean front bumper. The hood, my original hood, even before I got it, had a bunch of little dings all over it. It had looked like it had been in a really big hailstorm or something. So this is the hood off of Zion's Miata. Again, it's got a few little scratches here and there, but nothing that will show on wrap, and it is completely clean otherwise. There are absolutely no dents or dings. Now, this fender I had sitting around the same time that I got that trunk lid, and those I've just been kind of dragging from house to house. And when I got the rest of these body panels together and decided I was going to put everything on, that's when I put this fender on. I actually put this fender on first, and the reason was when my other fender got backed into, it kind of was obstructing my wheel and such, and I wanted to just get it off. I kind of limped the car home from that accident, and took that fender off and replaced it immediately that night. So this was the first one to go on. The car was all maroon with one blue fender for, I don't know, a couple weeks. And then I just went and did all of these body panels in the last couple days. This trunk lid is actually not exactly a perfect fit. It's got a little bit of a warp in it. I'm guessing that's from when Zion's car got hit, because his car got hit essentially right here and kind of the same spot in the front that mine did. But my old trunk lid had a bunch of upward indentations. It looked like the previous owner had something really big and hard in the trunk, and they slammed the trunk on it. So it had a bunch of upward facing dents, which I couldn't really fix. So I picked up this trunk. Again, it has that little warp in it. It's nothing too big of a deal. It doesn't look bad. And I just put my old ducktail on it, and this one doesn't have any dings or dents anywhere. So before I explain what I'm going to be doing with this car in regards to it all becoming one color again, I will first have to explain what is all happening with LTMC and why. August 24th, 2020, I am moving to California. There are a lot of reasons behind it. A lot of things have been kind of rough behind the scenes in my own life. It's been a while that I've been here. I came up here quite a few years ago now. I think it's almost been 8 years. I came up to Bellingham because my dad got a job here. I was in middle school at the time, and now I am living on my own, and there's nothing really keeping me here. I have no real reason to need to be here. So that said, I am going to California to go live with my aunt and help her build her house, which is going to be awesome. I'm going to have weekends off. Those I will spend creating content and working on this car. But the biggest announcement of all is that I am driving this car down to California on the 24th. I am actually going to be rewrapping this car next week. It is actually, I believe, the 12th right now, so I've got 12 days. I'm going to be overnighting some wrap here on Friday to get here Saturday, and then Sunday through next Thursday, I'm going to be wrapping this car. And then after Thursday, Friday, I'll have the BCM meet, so this car will go to that as its first meet fully wrapped. And then Saturday, I will have my season closer meet. And then on Sunday, I'm hosting a Cars and Coffee at Motor Coffee in Oak Harbor. So I have all of those things happening, and then that following Monday, I leave early in the morning. Now, I will be documenting my entire trip. I'm taking 2 weeks to get down to California. I'm leaving the 24th. I don't have to be down there until the 5th. I'm going to be driving 5 down to Portland, and then kicking on over straight west to 101 and driving the coast all the way down the Oregon coast and all the way down the California coast to San Francisco. So I'm really excited for this trip. I'm going to be documenting the whole thing. I will put out daily vlogs when this is happening. So starting August 24th, the night of August 24th, I will have the first daily vlog of my trip out. But there will be a few more videos before that trip happens. The first thing that I want to do is put the Garage Star gauge faces in this car that I've had sitting around forever. It's about time. It's just a day's work, so I'm just going to put them in probably the one day that I'm waiting for vinyl, since I'm overnighting vinyl Friday. So when vinyl gets here, I'll document the entire wrap process. I'm not going to tell you guys what color yet, but it's probably pretty predictable, and if you see me on a regular basis, you know exactly what kind of scheme I'm going for. Nobody spoil it for anyone. Stay tuned for all of that content, because it's been a while that YouTube's been kind of dead, and I want to be creating more consistent content, so I'm going to be bringing back as much content as I can, and for that trip for 2 weeks, I will have daily videos out. So, now that you guys know that I'm moving to California, that leaves the question, what is happening to my Saab? Well, I hate to say it, I really, it pains me to say this, but the Saab is for sale right now. I have a couple people I'm talking to that I actually know that are interested in buying the car, and it will have to go before I leave, so the car will be gone sometime within the next week and a half or so, and I'm sad to see it go, but the money from it is going to help pay for this trip. I don't really have a place that I can keep it here while it's not running. No progress has been made on it, I'll be totally honest, and it's just honestly more than I can afford to deal with right now, with the way my life is going and the way LTMC is going and this whole move coming up. I can't afford to keep the car, unfortunately. So the car is going away. I will not sell it to anyone that is going to part it out or anything. I want to see the car saved. So I have a couple people I'm talking to that might be interested in restoring it, and it will go to one of them. It will go to a good home. And it hurts to say that it's leaving, but I think in the long run, it's probably for the best. However, now that the Saab is leaving, this car has the potential to just get finished, because once the Saab is gone, this is my only car. The Miata, we are about to get very, very personal with. We're gonna be spending a lot of time with this car over the next, I don't know, several months. This car is going to get a lot of love. It's gonna get a lot of parts that will be coming together over the next few months and over the winter, and I'm really excited for it. I'm not gonna tell you guys too much information because I don't really want to spoil a lot of this build. I have a very specific idea of what I want to do for it, and I want to show you guys each individual process. So once I'm getting down to California, I'll be saving some money for a while and then eventually looking for a good headquarters down there that I can have maybe a shop space that I can keep this car in, because it deserves to be kept indoors where it's safe, because it's just been beat on. It's been a daily for too long. I will say, when I get down to California, I will be looking for another car that I can use as a daily, because this car is not going to be able to get out to where I'm going to be working, and I'll only really be able to use it on the weekends. And you may also be asking me, hey Tucker, you have a super broken Manzo catback on there. Don't you think that's a little bit loud for California? Well, yeah. At home, I actually have a stock exhaust sitting literally on the side of my house. I'm gonna put it in before I go down to California. This car's going quiet again. I didn't ever want it to be loud. The only reason I have that Manzo catback and the high flow cat in there is because my original exhaust, the cat got super clogged up when my head gasket blew, so I had to have it cut out because we had to weld it in because I'm really low. And the Manzo was the only exhaust that I could get on a short notice, because my cat was welded to my old stock exhaust and I couldn't use my stock exhaust again because I had to cut off the flange. So that said, I got a stock exhaust, Logan hooked it up, and this exhaust is going away. The car's finally going to be totally tolerable again. That'll make it a lot more tolerable to drive all the way down to California, since I'm literally going to be doing a straight shot down the coast all the way to San Francisco. We're going to be entering San Francisco across the Golden Gate, which I'm really excited about. I get to drive this car across the Golden Gate Bridge, which is going to be really cool. I used to spend a lot of weekends in San Francisco as a kid, so going there on my own and in my own car is going to be something that's very special to me, and I'm very excited for it. There might be one question that you may have noticed I haven't answered yet, and that is, what the hell is happening with the car meets that you host every single Saturday night here in Bellingham, Washington, when you're going to be moving to California? I have 2 people that I'm talking to currently that are looking to take over the meets. I'm kind of telling them how I host them, and the meets here in Bellingham will not be under my name, but they will not stop altogether. They're going to be creating their own page, their own they're going to be using my group, but they're going to be creating their own page. They're going to be hosting the meets in the same spot that I have been, under my same rules and everything. They want to preserve what I've built. I've worked 3 years hosting car meets now, almost 3 years, and it's been a lot of work. It's been more planning than people realize. There's a lot of work on a weekly basis that has to go into organizing a car meet. Even just getting people into a certain space at a certain time is not easy. So these guys have offered to take on the task. They're not going to be doing it through my name, mainly because I don't really want meets being hosted somewhere I'm not, under my company name. So they won't be LTMC meets, but they will be meets of another kind. I'll make an announcement in the meet group and everything. So if you're wanting to go to car meets in either Northern California or Bellingham, Washington, you can join my car meet group, which is LTMC Car Meets on Facebook, and that will get you all of the information. So that said, the meets are not stopping, and I will be expanding the meets down into Northern California. So that's very exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching this update video. I hope this cleared everything up for everyone. Be sure to check out all of the links in my bio. Check out all of my other social pages. Check out my merch store. I still have stickers for sale, and I have face masks on the way. LTMC face masks on the way. I'll put a little teaser picture up on the screen right now, and you guys can check those out. Those will be on the website very, very soon. So if you'd like to get yourself an LTMC face mask and some other stickers and merch and such, you can order all of those things on my website. Link is always down below. You can also check out my Patreon, and all of that helps support me bringing meets to more places around the country, me creating more merch for you guys, creating content, and building cars. And if you guys want to support any of that, there are 2 ways you can do it. They're both always in the description of every single YouTube video. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The support has been unreal lately, and I'm really excited for this next chapter of LTMC. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm really excited to share the road trip series with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. I've always wanted to drive 101 and Highway 1 all the way down the coast. So I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this video with your friends. If anyone you think would be interested in seeing this road trip series, or is interested in going to car meets or whatever, be sure to share this stuff with them, because that's how we can get the word out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next video.